Hello, this is Attila16 and this is a live stream of Ultimate General Gettysburg, and this is a game I bought a couple of days ago, and it's actually a very inexpensive game, and this is a tactical game, so it puts you into the Battle of Gettysburg, as the name tend to indicate, and it's currently still in development, so it's early access game on Steam. It's only $9, and in this you can play either the Union or Confederate. So once you choose, I'd choose the Union in this case, and there's different type of AI which behave differently, I guess. For example, here, cunning, they will camp a little and only move when needed to defeat you, or more dynamic, they will focus on your weak points. Determine, they will attack you powerfully and that kind of stuff. So there's a very different kind of difficulty or challenge. So for example, here there's an indicator of difficulty, so the higher you are, the more difficult that's supposed to be. An indicator of aggressiveness. So this means that if you play determine and aggressiveness, this will be difficult and the enemy will likely be very aggressive. While if you play cautious, the enemy will be conservative, but won't necessarily push you too hard, so it will be cautious. So from my experience, there's no difficulty level which is that different from others, but it's pretty random, to be honest. So here you have an option random, which I'll use in this case. So I'll just click random and then I'll go to battle. So here we're arriving at Gettysburg. Let me just check something first. Okay. So you have the Union force here, so 2,264 soldiers, 6 guns, that's what you have currently on the battlefield. You are expecting 9,000 and 28 guns, while the Confederate have 4,000 here, 4,000 there, 20 guns which are deployed, and 16 guns. So at the beginning you are clearly outmatched by the Confederate. And here you can see the deployment. So there's 3 objectives here, actually 4 if you include the Confederate objective. And these objectives indicate if you're winning or not. As far as I know, there's no real reason to capture them or lose them. It might perhaps affect the kind of option you have after the battle, but this can be pretty mobile as a game. Ideally speaking, it's best to have all the objective under your control, of course. But if you don't have the force for it, just, I guess, ignore them. So this is a 2D game, which is a welcome change if you ask me. So tired of all the 3D and pretty graphic. And since this is a 2D game, it has an artistic style, which I do appreciate actually. I find it very good looking. It's colorful, make me happy. As opposed to some games which are very dark and depressing. So this is a context where you have very few units. It's the vanguard probably of the entire force. I must say I'm personally not particularly familiar with the entire thing of Gettysburg battle. I just know that it was important, and it was probably the most decisive battle during the Civil War. Other than that, I don't really know the details. Other than it was very bloody. So here you start with 3 groups of skirmisher, which are a unit that will fire and then pull back. Well, here they are actually doing more than pulling back, they are fleeing. This is a game which was made by the creator of Dark Mod for the different Total Wars. So the aim of this is to create a kind of a feeling of a battle which is believable, that does work like the battle used to work back then, and that gives you a good pace, because for example, when you think of most recent line battle games such as Total War and a few others, many of them are really fast paced, while this is a little slower, still kind of fast when you look at it, but in this you at least have the time to think. And also I think the rate at which everybody dies, which is something rather important when you want to have a good simulation, I suppose. The rate of dying of everybody is seem very appropriate and not so much accurate as believable, let's say. So that's what I like about this game. And this is a game I actually really like. It's a lot of fun. Currently there's only single player, but in the future there will be a multiplayer. I will say that the content is rather limited, but fun nonetheless. And the game is not super expensive when you think about it. I bought it for $9, so. But I think this is a game which I hope is a prototype for something greater after. Because if you were just to make a game of Risk using that dynamic of battle, I will really enjoy that. You know, a kind of Total War, but very basic. But if they push it further and make it something complex, for example, as I said to a few people, if they were to make a game like Victoria 2 with that kind of battles, that will be amazing. And not necessarily hard to achieve, if you ask me. Well, I don't know. I guess the creator of this probably will be more qualified to answer that question. So here I do have 2 units of reinforcements, which I'll select, and then I'll move all the way there. Also, I think this game will likely come out on phone at a later stage, or tablet I should say. And when you look at how I'm moving my stuff here, for example, I can really easily see this as a tablet application. So essentially the way this game works, it's very similar to Total War. You have the morale. When it's all the way down, your units panic. Then you have your condition, which I'm not actually sure what that is. It's probably how organized your unit is, and the more organized they are, the more they'll be able to fight and inflict damage. That's a supposition there, I'm not sure. Then you have your cover. That's usually in relation to the ground. So for example, when you're in a forest, you have a lot of cover. When you are in a town or behind a building, a good portion of your troops will be behind cover. And you can see that it's a percentage. So that mostly indicates the amount of troops in your unit which are behind cover. So that means you still have many other troops which are not behind cover. So for example, here I have 57% of my unit which is behind cover, which make them more likely to survive a firefight, while here only 31%. So when you end up at 100% cover, that usually means that your troops will be able to hold much longer under fire. Also, there is a few generals, as you can see here. And this general will increase the morale of your troops. Here I have a few cavalry. Very few cavalry, actually. Also have a few cavalry there. And the cavalry will just... this is a skirmishing cavalry. It's not a unit which will be particularly amazing at charging the enemy. And so far there's only some firefight going on, but you can also charge the enemy in close quarter combat. As you can see here, I have an option for that. But from my experience, it can be useful in some contexts, but it's not necessarily a good idea all the time. Also here you have artillery, which has different type of shell. So you have shells, canister, solid shot. Solid shot has a long range, so you'll be able to fire far away, but you won't necessarily do much damage. Unless you absolutely hit the target, like it's the case here. While shell have a shorter range, so if we click this, for example, here you can see the arc that indicates you the range, and that means you can shell people in there. And then canister is a really short range here. So here that unit, I think I should probably move them into the field, this way they will have more cover. While here this cavalry will harass those units over there. There is that Davis unit, which is a bit of a pain because they are very numerous, and they are not panicking in the right direction, so they are forcing me to spread out, which is something I don't necessarily appreciate right now. But since we are early in the battle, it's okay, I should be able to survive that. What's interesting also in this game is that both sides, the Union and Confederate, have different ways of playing. The Union have good discipline, while the Confederate have high morale. And that influences a little the way they play. But also early on in the battle, the Confederate have a very, very large amount of troops, which make it a kind of a pain, as you can see here, for me to resist them. Now, for example, since I have that Davis Corps over there, which is mobilizing 3 of my units right now, and he's panicking away over there, that's really harmful for the rest of my front. Fortunately, 2 more units of reserve are coming in. I'll order them to run. While here you can notice that I deployed my troops in the forest there. That will allow them to survive much longer, and enter the fight a little more. While here these troops in the field also have a good position. But you can notice, just visually speaking, that those Confederates are really numerous. So it will be hard to chase them. So here what I'll do is I'll move my troops into that line of 3. Hopefully, oh, they're panicking. They have very low morale right now. And they don't have much cover. While the enemy is on a hill, which probably allowed him to have a better shot at my troops. Okay, let's engage that Pettigrew unit. All those people. And here, let's move over there, so we have a good cohesion of the line. The only issue I see is that not much cover over here. So the way the battle works is that it works by phase. So right now this is the first phase of the battle, and so it's very small units against each other, and it's setting up the situation for later battle. And when you're done with that phase, it determines who won that phase, and after that you'll have option to choose different approach following this phase. So for example, if I keep those positions, it gives me probably some option, while if I lose those positions, I'll have probably to fight over here. So what happened in that battle influenced the rest. Also, all the units that you lose, well, all the units that you see currently, you'll keep them for a later stage in the battle. So that means that if you're wasting too much of your troops right now, That might pay off in you capturing that hill, for example, but ultimately that might have a negative impact in allowing the enemy to overwhelm your force later on. So one of my issues right now is the amount of enemy artillery, which is way more numerous than mine. And it's clear that infantry can beat artillery pretty easily. It's just that it's very likely that in many cases you'll end up running out of morale, so your troops will panic prior to even reaching that artillery position. And if you stay at distance and just fire at them, it's probably not the most efficient way to deal with them. So here I'm just holding position now. That will keep those guys buzzing. I think I will actually order those skirmisher away from there, and I'll just keep that unit to keep that Davis group busy. I'll also keep my cavalry over there to harass them a little. There's a few enemy artillery position there. I will just move in the back there in order to preserve my troops from enemy artillery fire. Anyway, my purpose right now is just to hold that ridge over here. So I'm doing a kind of an advanced defense there by keeping the pressure on. But it's clear that with the amount of artillery there, I'm not in good position to advance. And just with the number of infantry they have, it's kind of crazy. So I'll deploy these skirmisher over here. I'll put that unit on hold. You can see here that my cavalry is harassing the Davis Corps. And that's good, because when these soldiers here will fire at them, it's much more likely that they will panic. And this way I hope that they'll panic in that direction, so that I will have a better positioning to shoot at them. Let's advance a little here. Let's put that skirmisher on O. More reinforcements, and this time with some artillery, which is very appreciated. So what I'll do is I'll move my artillery all the way here, where there is a hill. If I click M, you have a kind of representation of all the hills, which is something very important. And there's also all the line of sight, which count also. It's very nicely done in the game. I really like it. Okay, so here what I'll do is I'll just hold the position. Now the Pettigrew Corps is very threatening, because I only have one group of skirmisher there with some artillery, but artillery won't last long there. So we'll have to reorient those two units to fight Pettigrew. It's clear that the Davis and Broken Corps are moving to capture that position over there. And I shall probably take care of that. So I'll send my cavalry over here and just harass them for them to go further. I guess that's north west. So there's different way you can move your units. You can click on the enemy unit you want to engage, in which case the unit will move forward and then engage. You can click and drag, and that will mean that your troops will walk or run until they reach the enemy position. Then they'll fire at the enemy, and then they will simply resume walking after shooting, which can lead ultimately to melee fight. And as the Union, I'm not sure you necessarily want to engage the enemy in melee fight at the beginning. What I wonder is if the fact of being in a line like this while artillery is shooting me, if that's particularly healthy for my troops. Davis Corps is fleeing into my light cavalry. Okay, since there's nobody on that side, I think I will actually try to hunt down the enemy artillery, while the enemy corps are just standing there, and my troops are behind the hill, as you can see. So they are rather protected from enemy artillery fire, or at least they won't receive the full extension of the enemy artillery fire. While here with my light cavalry, I think I will make a move to attack the Zimmerman artillery piece. Well, that cavalry here seem a little concerned. And here it's time to run into those artillery pieces which are undefended. And with that unit here I will engage Pettigrew so that that corps doesn't bother me. We'll also engage the skirmisher. Well, here I seem to have routed a little the artillery piece Zimmerman. Here I'll order the charge. Same here. Oh, sadly no luck there. What's fun about this game is how units route. They don't wait to die one after the other. So it forces you to really use tactic in approaching and be careful in every move you do. So you cannot just charge the enemy all of a sudden. You need to plan your approach and be very progressive in the moves you do. So I did manage to destroy at least one artillery piece here. They are undefended. What I'm really looking forward to in that game is the multiplayer. I think that will be awesome. Yeah, you can click M and that will activate those lines. You're not forced to have them. You can disable them. It's not. If you don't like it, don't put it on. But I find it to be a practical reminder of the terrain, because you can guess it. It's pretty well done. So actually, here I think I have a crash, which sometime happens. Okay, just restarting the battle, I guess. Yeah, this is a crash that they know about it, and they will hopefully fix it. So you can also do custom battles, for example. Here, let's see. So you have different scenario. Here, that's the first day. Day in the afternoon. Let's do this. Confederate capture Hill Hogue. Let's do a Union advance to Hare Ridge, and let's randomize the thing. And it's the Union which is advancing, so that should be me, I guess. Let's choose random difficulty and let's go for it. So let's see, lots of units spread around. Union have 8,000 and the Confederate have 6,000, but the Confederate also have 15,000 troops in reinforcements. That's a little crazy. So let me just do something first. Okay, there we go. Okay, so essentially it's the same map, but different context, I guess. Different troops also. For example, here getting attacked from that side. The units are spread out. Okay, that's a much wider front. So what I'll do is I'll regroup my troops over there. I will urge my reinforcements to hurry up all the way there. Yeah, this scenario will seem very hard. Because all the Union troops are spread out, the Confederate are much better in melee combat, and in this context where you're all spread out, it's much more likely that the enemy will actually charge you. Well, if I was him, I will do it. Now, also, there's no guarantee that I won't be attacked from there. So I'll urge one unit to go there. I will keep these reserve. No, actually, this skirmisher over there. Well, here, let's see what can I do with that commander. Okay, good news, the Pettigrew Corps is routed. This is a very strong unit because they are so numerous. Yeah, I think taking care of Pettigrew unit is one of the priority because they are really numerous. So getting rid of them is very important early on. Well, here I will use my good well-organized unit to charge those skirmishers. Here I'll send my cavalry to harass those troops over there. Pulling back the skirmishers. I think I will regroup all the skirmisher further north. Now my issue is that my artillery is exposed. And here there's a lot of exposed enemy artillery. I guess I will just pull back because this is I don't think I have the capacity to destroy these with that infantry, and I do not have I don't have anything to throw at them. I think the priority is to preserve my own artillery. Well, here those units seem to be holding pretty well. It's very surprising. Now let's try to get rid of Pettigrew. Since I have a lot of units, it's a good moment to strike there. I guess here I will abandon that position and I will attack the Davis Corps. I also need to keep an eye on any reinforcements coming. Send them where it's useful. Also need to anticipate if there's any enemy coming from the north, which is a possibility. And if that was to be true, we'll be in big trouble. Because all my formation are aligned toward the west. Also, you need to keep in mind that the Confederate will receive a large amount of reinforcements during that battle, so I'm not too sure if I'm reasonable to fight them like this, because that can turn very bad very quick. So blue 4 general use skirmisher. That's his domain. Let's see, where's the other general? There's supposed to be another general which is leading. No, it's first corps. That's the one. So I will give a boost to these guys, and I think I will attempt to get rid of a few artillery pieces over there. Let's try to move on the side of Pettigrew. Shoot them there. Yeah, here I'm a little hesitant to send that unit, because they are already wavering. The morale is at 0, so they are not combat effective. My artillery are getting into position on that ridge. Let's storm these guys. Because dealing with artillery is really important early on in this game. And if I can reduce the amount of enemy cannon, that will be a great thing. Okay, no sign of enemy reinforcements from there. Let's charge these artillery pieces now. Oh, there you go, reinforcements. That is really problematic. So I will have to reorganize my troops significantly. So I'll move my skirmisher all the way up there to face the enemy reinforcements, and then let's see, any reinforcements on my part? Doesn't seem so. Move the skirmisher a little more there because there's chance of enemy reinforcements coming there. While here I'll keep this unit on that line of 3, which will, as you can see, increase their cover a lot. It's 89%, 97%, I mean, or 95% now. And now the goal is really to put the defensive line all the way there. That group, I'll go fight these Davis Corps. I'll also take the opportunity to harass them a little with the cavalry. Apparently my skirmisher did not like the engagement there. Here I'm neglecting my troops a lot. So I will resume killing those artillery pieces. My issue is that by charging there, I'm really putting my troops in between a crossfire. Here I'm trying to set up a kind of a coherent front, because that's really not coherent right now. It's very chaotic. Well, these guys, they have 60% cover. That's pretty good. So I'll move this artillery corps further over here. This will provide me a good angle on the area, because that hill is pretty high. So I'll be able to shoot at those enemy reinforcements. There's a big denivellation there. Oh, there you go. That's what I thought. A lot of enemy reinforcements coming from that side. Well, here my troops are being cornered. That's a big problem. So I don't have any choice but to try to flee forward over here. Yeah, it's not with a bunch of skirmisher that I'll manage to hold that amount of troops. Seems to be a big melee going on there. Seems that my fleeing forward doesn't work too well. Oh, great reinforcements, that will be extremely useful. Here I will fall back. Other group over there. Unfortunately, they seem smart enough to flee in to a kind of okay direction there. Well, here I clearly have a hill advantage over that Dolice core. I think I will attempt to take advantage of this. Yeah, I think my troops really don't appreciate the situation. They are fleeing left and right. But there's also the fact that the commander were not put necessarily close enough to their respective units, which is a big morale boost usually when that works. So I will literally reorganize my army deployment. Oh, they're getting to the town now. It's a big problem. Because if they get into the town, it will be hard to chase them out. That core here is really exposed, so that's good for my troops. Well, the battle for that McPherson farm is starting to be very dangerous. I do need to chase the Gordon Corps out of there. We'll use another group here. Order that one to wait. I will order that one to hold. And I will also order that group to pull back, which is artillery. I'll pull back onto that hill over there. Yeah, I think I'll pull back this artillery as well. Too many enemy units there, it's not healthy. Well, here 2 units are facing each other in an open field. That's not particularly good for either of them. I will move this unit into that field, which will give them a little more cover. I'm really getting pushed back big time by the amount of enemy troops. If you look at the balance of power up there, they have 15,000 troops and I only have 13,000. Okay, everybody, we pull back. Let's defend the town. That artillery did not necessarily follow what I had in mind. So I'm losing a lot of ground right now. Now all these troops will engage the Gordon Corps and hopefully inflict a lot of loss. Wrong way to panic. Panic over there. Or don't panic at all, that would be better. Baxter Corps is exposed. Well, here, that's a better position. They're protected from enemy artillery while not necessarily exposed to enemy infantry fire, and they can fire at very close range on the enemy. Just checking the organization of my troops now. See, to be able to make the right general fit with the right units. Now the big issue is that I'm actually surrounded. Need to break this. Oh, they are even coming that far. Look at the balance of power. I'm really losing a lot of men. Really hope that in the next phase we'll have a lot of reinforcements, because this is not going well. Let's make sure that town is secure. Major victory. Really? So apparently I won this. It definitely did not look like it, but I did kill more than what I lost. And the Confederate actually managed to capture many hills. But yeah, I seem to have won this. Go figure. Okay, let's see. That's Union, hold the town. I'll play the Confederate, random difficulty, and here we go. So this time I'm in charge of attacking the town, I guess. Or is it? Okay, yeah. I have the Confederate forces. So my priority will be to bring my artillery closer. Because right now a lot of them are not even seeing the battle. We'll move my infantry closer. Now attacking is usually rather difficult, but the Confederate are rather good at it because of number and morale. You can see that those Union guys have a lot of artillery to throw at me. This is a pretty wide battlefield. The advantage this time is that this is not a random battle. This is like the positioning of that time. Will be bloody. The Union is very well entrenched because all these places have a lot of cover. So as a result of this, in a firefight between Confederate and Union, the Union has a better position, and they'll be able to kill much more of your troops. So that's why it's very likely that the only way to kick them out of there is to charge them or put a pressure, like here. You can see that one of their units is routing. And I guess using the number here might be the best thing to do. make sure that the artillery follow with my moves. Because having artillery which is lagging behind is not necessarily useful in supporting your advance. You can see with all the bullets flying by that the Union has a lot of cannon in the back that we don't necessarily see right now. Making sure that the reserve are not lagging behind too much. Now here that's a good place to shoot the Union guys because they are exposed, they are in an open field, so number really play in my favor right now. Follow with my artillery, which seems to have a hard time keeping up. I do need that artillery in order to continue advancing. I guess here I should probably push as fast as possible because the enemy morale is broken, so if I push forward and chase them out of those trees, will probably save me a few losses. Well, here they seem to be harassing my troops. Not too sure what kind of a position I'm facing. Yeah, this is a fun game. I really like it. It's called Ultimate General Gettysburg, as the title say, and this is not particularly expensive. It's only $9, and I think this game really does give you a good feeling of line battle. I don't know if you're familiar at all with Total War, but this game is created by the guy that did Dark Mode, which is a mod for Total War that is all about turning the game into something realistic. And I think this game just really make it great. It's believable. And sadly there's no grand campaign in this, but if they were just to make a kind of grand campaign that could be as simple as making a Risk kind of game to something more complex like, as I said before, Victoria 2 or Crusader King, same thing. Not really, but anyway. If they were to do something that refined, mixed with that kind of battle, that could be epic. Okay, now that's problematic. I did not anticipate those skirmishers moving there. And now I'm pushing forward my advance, but I'm a little worried by the amount of Union troops defending. Oh yeah, look at that. Probably should hold and wait for my artillery to come by. Or to catch up, actually. Also, we're getting into territory where there's a lot more cover. This is getting harder and harder. You can see that I'm pushing the Union back, but the big question is it worth it? Am I killing more than I'm losing? That's a big question. And as I get closer, you can see that there is a couple of artillery positions there, so that might be very dangerous. Also, these Union troops here are rather annoying because they are in position to really put in danger my artillery, which is now closer. And rather exposed and badly defended. Okay, so that's good. I did manage to push them out. We'll move forward my general to keep the morale high. But yeah, I think this game, if you never heard of it, you might want to take a look at it on Steam. I think this game, it's not really expensive at all, and it's $9. And I think this is an early access, so the game is still in development. Nobody really know in what condition it will be when it will be released. But I think so far this is definitely the right direction. And I will say that it's kind of limited in content because as the name says, this is Gettysburg, and this is focusing on Gettysburg. I think it does a magnificent job at being Gettysburg, but I think this game is really a game which has an enormous potential if they push it further in the future. I hope that this is a prototype for something greater, because that could be awesome. Okay, I'll be in position to use artillery on that side. As you can see here, I'm kinda holding on attacking that position because I want my artillery to be there, to have a good angle, to be able to suppress the enemy which might try to slow down my troops. While here I still have to deal with those routing force that flanked me. That was totally not necessary on their part. Likely I'll die for it, but until they do, I'm still stuck dealing with them. Now, one advantage that I do have over the Union here is how I'm really surrounding them. So if I manage to rout them, it's very likely that they'll get corner all the way there. And so far I'm in good position to do so. At least I believe so. Unless there is an insane amount of Union reinforcements coming my way, which I'm not aware of yet. If they actually manage to add more battles, I know that the thing is, as I explained earlier, this game there's a kind of campaign, and this evolve in phase, so which are all dependent on what happened. And the thing is that what they'll likely do is make a lot lot more phase available, which will allow us to end up in multiple kind of situation. I've played this game quite a bit, and I'm still sometime ending up into a area or phase that I had never seen before because of different contexts. So this game clearly have a lot of potential scenario and replayability that might not be obvious early on. Oh wow, minor defeat, but I did push them back. What the hell? Anyway. So these were custom battle. Let's fight a new battle. And let's beat the Confederate. Random. And here we go. Is there any formation? Well, no. There's different type of troops. For example, skirmisher will pull back, while line infantry will fight. Usually that's the way it works. And there's not really any formation as far as I know. You can see the orders that appear on the side right here. So you can say hold, run, halt, fall back, charge. So that's what you do. Here, for example, I have a group of skirmisher. These are specialized in running into the enemy, firing a few shots, and then pulling back. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll move into the wood where there's much more cover. I'll follow with my general. So this is the historical context they put you in at the beginning. And assuming it doesn't crash, because there's a bug which make the game lock up lately, which they are working on. But if it doesn't lock up, normally there will be a second phase, and then at least usually it's about 4 or 5 phases where you get reinforcements and you progress one day after the other in the Battle of Gettysburg. And what I like about it is that, you know, if you mess up with your troops at that stage, you might regret it later. Also, with the different type of AI, you really end up having a different type of enemy behavior. And it doesn't really change anything about the difficulty. It changed the way the AI work, and the result may vary quite a bit. It's very surprising sometimes. It's like sometimes they'll be super cautious, while other time they'll just charge at you, while other time they'll just be rather balanced in the way they proceed. So now the thing is that there's very few units, as you can see right now. But the risk of having so few units is that the enemy might want to flank around. And that will not necessarily be a good thing. I'll order my artillery to follow my troops. So for example, these cavalry can be very dangerous to my artillery over there. So I think I will order my Davis Corps to help my artillery there. Well, here we'll order my troops to charge those artillery, because once you get rid of them, the Union is at a small disadvantage. And also the Union only have skirmisher at the beginning of that phase. But in exchange of me charging their cavalry, they are charging my their cannon. They are charging my cannon. That's a bit of an issue. shooting these skirmisher, hoping to rout them. Okay, I seem to have managed to kill the cannons. These cavalry are really annoying at the beginning. You really want to get rid of them as fast as possible. Now notice the skirmisher, they are shooting and then pulling back. Now the result is that their skirmisher are running into my line infantry. While here I'm kind of misusing these line infantry because I have a large amount of troops there, and they are stuck chasing down a few cavalrymen because these cavalrymen are a danger for my artillery. So perhaps I should deal with the enemy cavalry by using my skirmisher on them instead. I think they are dead now. It's very unlikely that they pose any threat anymore. Now when you make your troops walk, I think that improve a little their efficiency at shooting the enemy and keeping the formation. I'll just keep my skirmisher there. Now the challenge is to maintain the pressure without receiving the enemy reinforcements in the face, which are right there. I guess I will tell the archer corps to just hold the position there. While here I'll try to chase away those skirmishers. Fortunately, Pettigrew, my best friend at that stage, is coming in reinforcements. Same with Broken Bro. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Now here's the challenge. There's still a skirmisher which can endanger my artillery, so I'm kind of stuck keeping my artillery in the back. While here my troops are holding against a big enemy charge. Not sure if that's going well or not. Doesn't seem to. Not sure what the artillery is doing. Okay. There's one objective over there, another one here, and another one there. I'm not sure what's the point of these. Perhaps it unlock different stage, so that if you hold that position you'll be able to choose one or the other map. But here I'm in a bit of a problem because the enemy is in the forest in good cover and my troops are not. 35% cover is not particularly good. Let's charge those skirmisher. Hopefully chase them away. I guess the only way to break the morale of these guys is really to surround them. So I'll move the archer group further here. I'll keep the general close by to increase the morale. I will hope for the skirmisher to win that battle against the cavalry there. While doing so here, the skirmisher are running too much. But they are in an open field, or rather open field. Let's take a few shots, that should probably kill a few. No luck there. I will instead go capture that zone over there. But here the main advantage of the Confederate at that stage is really the Pettigrew group, because 2,463 men, that's a lot of firepower. Also, they do have a lot of artillery early on. And they have a good morale, look at that. 100% morale. The reinforcements are usually arriving at the scripted moment, as far as I can tell, in this campaign. I guess perhaps they will make a randomly generated campaign, I doubt it, but it's possible. I just doubt it. But so far this is scripted in terms of reinforcements. What's different though is that you can... well, everything adds up. So if you play well in this phase, it can lead you to a phase which is specific, depending which zone you control. Or it can, you know, when you lose a lot of troops by charging the enemy, you end up suffering the consequence at later phase. Also, if I manage to beat that without any crash, you'll see that I will likely have a choice to about what I do next. And for example, will I attack the town, or do I secure the north, or that kind of stuff. So there is a kind of consequence to everything that you'll do in this. I think that's pretty nice. And that's also very fun. Okay, now the problem is those two corps, which are really strong. I'll have to deal with them prior to them being able to engage my artillery. Well, here I probably should keep pushing forward in order to capture that zone. Well, here these guys are really suffering a lot. You can see actually the amount of enemies your specific unit kills. For example, here Pettigrew actually did manage to kill 683 enemies so far in this battle, which is a lot. Well, Archer, it's only 251, and here 111. I think here what's important, especially when you play the Confederate, is to keep pushing forward, because you have the morale and the Union doesn't. Union troops are disciplined, but they don't have much morale. Oh, here I did a mistake. My core was really exposed on the flank. And I did pay for it. Well, here I'm starting to be in good position, because once I reach that line of tree, it will give me a good cover to shoot at the enemy. So I'll send the corps, the 3rd Corps General, to regroup or reboost morale of the Davis Corps. Well, here I will order these troops on hold, because they are seriously outnumbered. Or maybe not. Oh boy. A lot of artillery here. Maybe a bad idea to push too hard. And I think so far the game is rather balanced in terms of is it possible to beat the enemy, because sometimes there's really phase of the battle where you can be seriously outnumbered. Especially when you play the Union. I think the Union is probably harder to play than the Confederate, because the Confederate early on in the battle have a lot of troops deployed and high morale, so they're really able to fight the Union effectively. Okay, I have a couple of artillery units here that will bring closer. Also, usually the positioning of your troop is more or less conserved from one phase to the other, so usually it does look either similar or the same where you left them, but it's clear that in some case it moves the battle elsewhere, so you might end up not necessarily recognizing well, the positioning, because your troops have been moved elsewhere because of a choice you did in the different phase. There will be a multiplayer. They are working on it. It's not out yet. I know that they say that it's near completed. As to whether it works or not, I don't know. We'll see. But there will be a multiplayer for this, and I think this game in multiplayer will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Especially if they actually manage to make it a campaign, so that you actually play the campaign and evolve depending the different phase. Okay, I think here it's a bad idea to keep pushing at Pettigrew, so I will pull back and I will try to rout Baxter. So here a lot of pressure. And the objective is to hold at least a few positions on that ridge. And there is also a lot of artillery, Union artillery here, which is very problematic. I think this game, it's very well done. I think it's really it gives me the right feeling for line battle, because it's the right pace. It's believable. You have a lot of people dying, but not at an excessive pace. And the accuracy of your troops are terrible. The cover system is believable. So it's a nice prototype so far. And I really hope that they will develop this game further. Multiplayer will be a great addition, but I hope that it even goes further than that. Okay, now I'm in a kind of position which is really uncomfortable, because I have Pettigrew Corps, which is all the way there, and Davis, which is all the way here, which are going north, but as a result I'm kinda weak in the center. Here, this unit, sure they are holding, but that's not, they are outnumbered, seriously. My artillery here might be okay in routing the enemy, but they are not well protected. That archer group doesn't seem to have much of a morale. My two biggest corps are moving north. Of course I can change that when I want, it's just that I would rather make sure that the north is safe. What's also nice is to see all the dead people all over the battlefield. And it really does illustrate to you where are the good place to have a fight. I guess Davis Corps will have to deal with the north. I will bring back Pettigrew at running speed. I can see those small units of skirmisher, they don't do much damage, but they are strong enough to damage my artillery. Switching to walk. Let's clear that hill. Okay, well I guess I will have to keep my Davis Corps all the way here, just to maintain that position. I think Pettigrew is likely able to deal with those guys, because they're being supported with these. Now the artillery is moving forward slowly but surely, and as a result I might have a few good hit on the enemy here. Now the big problem that I have now is that these guys are routing, which was to be expected because they did suffer a significant amount of loss because they were alone fighting all these enemies at once. Here I have a bunch of artillery which are all bunched up, and that's pretty bad. I guess here I have no choice but to rely on the number of Pettigrew units. Oh, that was close. Sadly, Pettigrew is really low in morale. So they are routing. Where is the general there? I have a lot of artillery, but artillery doesn't kill much. It will ruin the enemy morale, but it's not much of a killer. Your main killer are largely your infantry. Yeah, look at that. Barely have any troops to hold. They are all busy elsewhere. Oh, now they are trying to sneak around. And Pettigrew is in bad morale condition. morale of that unit is getting high very quick. It's very likely thanks to the general there. I will order the general to go motivate a little Pettigrew. You can see how I had the number, but now I'm not sure. It seems to be pretty even. Yeah, actually the Union have more troops than I do. So I guess I'm now on the defense. Now Davis Corps seem to be able to hold it. It's just that by allowing Davis Corps to hold it, I'm losing the center, which is not good. I think I might have lost a few cannons there. Oh, same here. That's really bad. To retake that hill. Move on the other side of the hill to protect my troops from enemy artillery fire. So what that illustrates to you is the value of spreading out your artillery. Okay, so that was a minor victory. Okay, I did lose 3,000. That's pretty bad, and I did kill. Yeah, I really don't get how this this victory or defeat thing works. I will call this defeat personally. But here you go. Now I have a choice. Flank Union left if practicable. That's the only choice I have. It's probably because of the zone I had in the north. Yeah, it's very likely the case. Union 17,000. I have 6,000, and I will have 19,000 soldier in reinforcements while they don't have any. Okay, so this is a case where I just need to wait for reinforcements and not die until that happens. I'll take better position where I can. Okay, that's good. Bit of troops. Now what's interesting about that phase is that I will have much more troops than the Union. Largely coming from reinforcements. So that means that currently I am at an advantage. Well, not right now, but during the battle. Which means that if I do have an advantage, I will have to press on. and hopefully chase them as far as possible. Yep. Now the issue I have is that I'm really spread out on the other end, while they might not be. I'll order my troops to walk to the fight. But as you can see by here the balance of power, they are still having quite an advantage on me. Also, there is currently a bug about artillery where the commander just die, and that really ruins the morale of the artillery unit a lot. I don't know how much that affects the accuracy or efficiency, but as you can see here, all their commander of artillery are dead. And I have no idea what's the cause of this. So I guess since I have two very large units, I will use their length to just encircle the enemy over there. Now if you look here, it's clear that the orientation of the Union defense is very much linear on that ridge. I guess what I'll do here is I'll just focus on routing these guys. Doesn't seem to be anybody in the town, which is surprising. Okay, Archer is routing, but Baxter is pulling back. That's a good news. Still nobody in that town. Iversons seem to be wavering a little too much to my taste. That unit doesn't seem to have a commander. The good news from my move is that I'm able to flank some artillery units. artillery units which are nearly outrunning my charge. Come on, catch them. What I'll do here is I will instead send these corps to attack and really encircle these troops. Okay, no reinforcements to be seen. What I'll be doing is to just follow that hill and just make sure to route them one after the other. Nice, second corps has finally showed up. Now the advantage of following that hill is that there is a lot of cover on the hill, and as a result, if I was to do a frontal attack, yeah, probably would lose much more troops. While here the fight is likely a little more even. Yeah, the artillery is catching up, slowly but surely. There seem to be a few defender here, including some artillery. I guess I will attempt to charge them. I do appreciate when the enemy is running away. It's a pretty sight. Now, as we push forward, it might become a little more dangerous for my troops. So I guess I'm making my artillery lag a little too much behind. Also, my general are not necessarily following the movement either. I need to pay attention to that. And there seem to be some troops over there, still in good position to fight. I have all these artillery which I were not even aware that they were there. I think what I'll do is I will try to capture that zone very well. Be well entrenched there, and hopefully, as you can see, my troops have a very long range on the enemy from there. So I'll try to take advantage of that hill. Also, this is very good cover. But I think I have no choice but to wait for my artillery a little. Okay, let's move forward now. My troops are walking, this way they remain organized. As you can see on that hill, a lot of dead Union soldiers. But it's not as true when you come here. A lot of Confederate died. My main line of offense is over here. By having a lot of units following each other, you end up having a good rate of fire on the enemy. So it keeps demoralizing the enemy significantly. How late are you? You are 1 hour 51 minutes late. That's okay. You can always check back the beginning after the live stream. Or during the live stream actually. Thanks to YouTube technology. So you're never late. My artillery is really having a hard time keeping up with my troops. Advancing too fast. Oh, look here, the move on the hill really did pay off. A lot of dead Union troops there. Yeah, I'll keep my artillery closer. I just hope that my troops won't rout. Well, here I'm a little afraid of moving out of that hill. I guess I have no choice. I have the general not far, so I guess my troops will be in good shape to get the move on. I'm getting close to the enemy artillery, which is problematic. Okay, that's good. We're fighting for the cemetery now. And they are starting to be surrounded, which is a very good position in my favor. Ah, just before it got interesting. Anyway, minor victory. Did kill 6,000... no, 3,600. Plus 3,300. Okay. Now we're fighting the cemetery. No choice of doing anything else. So we're attacking that place again. Well, the good news is that I start with that hill, which is particularly well positioned. It's 99% cover, that's really amazing. That means my troops are very well protected by the wood. I think I will send Archer over there to see if there's anybody, but because maybe there's nobody. Yeah, there's nobody there. That is good. What's even better is if the enemy pull back. I guess I will order my troops to hold position a little, just so they can fire a few shots at the enemy prior to getting into contact with them. Okay, that's interesting. Or dangerous. I'm not sure which one that is. Guess Archer Corps will have to wait there. The Union troops are really well positioned on that hill. That's why I really wanted to push forward in the previous phase, because it's much harder now. I'm in a better position to surround them, but it's just that the enemy reinforcement will likely prevent me to do so effectively. So if I end up being too aggressive and surrounding them, they will likely make me exposed on my flank after. That's why Archer Corps right here, yeah, it was a bit of a danger to put him there. Yeah, I don't think that's a good move I'm doing there. Well, actually it depends. Might be a good move, or might be a terrible move. I guess time will tell. Because here's the deal. I have 2 good units in their back. just that I don't necessarily have good units in their front. They have a good positioning, it's just that I'm not sure I have the right morale. But it's clear that I'm starting to surround them. I guess I will have to sacrifice many men of the archer group. Yeah, moving my cannon forward. It's just that I'm moving my troops way too fast. Cannons have a hard time catching up. That's the part where the Union start to freak out, finally, but the problem is that my troops, which are surrounding the enemy, are also freaking out, which is not necessarily a good thing. So it's a nappy carnage over here, not sure carnage of who. Chaotic. Reinforcements, anybody? No? Oh, I'm totally misusing my third corps here. Forgetting to bring the morale of the general to their troops. I think now they are really broken on that hill. Now the consideration is at what cost? There is still a lot of them beyond the hill. Let's see, if I put a lot of cannon here, will that serve me? Well, judging by the amount of dead Union soldier on that hill, I think it went well. There's a lot of dead Confederate, but much more dead Union. I think if I continue to push forward, I might be able to really corner them. It's all a question of taking advantage of the gain that we did. This is kind of suicidal to have that many artillery pieces on a single hill. I don't like it at all. Somebody has a visual here. It's that piece of artillery, which I should probably bring in. Here they really just decided to ignore my troops. I'll try to recreate the move I did. Minor victory. Yeah, I did kill a little more, but I guess that's a victory nonetheless. So as you can see here, the following phase, I'm in much better position. I can put the pressure on there. It's just that Union are expecting way more troops than I do. So it will be very difficult. But I will now take a break, and I'll see you on the next video, which perhaps will be this battle right here. I'm not sure. But for today, that will be it for the live stream. So I hope you did enjoy it. I hope that I made you discover that game, which I find really good, really entertaining, and I'll see you around.